Hey guys, welcome to Embracing Expansion. I am Finesse and I'm so happy to be here with you guys today. Today I wanted to share with you just a beautiful experience I've been having. At first it was just a lot of confusion, but as I grew to understand it better, I'm just so grateful for the experience. And that experience I've discovered is my Kundalini awakening. Okay, I touched on that a little bit when I was doing the chakra book that we did a few weeks ago, maybe more than a few weeks ago, on our worthy read section. Which reminds me, not to get away from it, from what we're talking about today, but I am going to be starting the chakra balancing meditations next week. I'm going to start recording those maybe from this week because I want it to be consistent. I want to cater to everyone. So I'm gonna start first off by just having a video about the chakras. So that's gonna be another segment in the meantime before I get back into my worthy reads. Okay, so I'm gonna take some time each week and work on a chakra, but I'm gonna start with a summary of the chakras. Okay, now my Kundalini awakening, I will tell you guys when it first started and how I was feeling. So as you all know, as I've said to you before, I do like I start my day with affirmations written, affirmations read, and these affirmations read are those that I've, little statements from the books, the array of books that I've read so far, certain sentences or quotes that I got from them. I put them in a book and I read them as my affirmations. And so I write affirmations. So every morning when I wake up, my routine is pretty much, I start by writing my affirmation. So if I'm sitting in bed and someone comes to mind while I'm doing my affirmations, I send them love and light. I write a sentence just to wish them a good day, And my motivation for that, or my understanding of that, is I always believe there's power in the word. But I always believe that when you write something and you say it out loud, you're doubling the power of that word. After I do my written affirmations, I read from the 2 books that I'm reading right now. So I usually read 1 book a year, and it takes a while, but I get through it at a year. So, but this year I'm doing 2 books, so I do a reading of both, just a small section. They usually have like tiny subtitles, so I read like 1 subtitle within a chapter every morning from each book. Then I go to reading the affirmations that I had written from other books, and some that I just wrote from my own off the top of my own head. Sometimes during meditation you get these beautiful moments and then you write them down. So that's one of those. And then I go into my meditation. I've been doing this really cool breathwork meditation by Sandy on YouTube. I will put the link to the channel, but you could just search for Sandy or breathwork by Sandy, Sandy, and you're gonna get some really cool breathwork. If you're someone who's trying to get into breathwork, because that is really where everything starts, with your breath. Your breath can inspire your healing, your moods, change your moods from one of negativity to positivity. You can breathe in positive energy and release that which doesn't serve you through breath work. And there are various types of breath work I'm learning. The one I'm doing right now by Sandy, it consists of a breathing technique called Sufi breathing, which is pretty cool. I'll leave you to find that. I'll actually put a link in the bio for this Embracing Expansion video. Now, the reason I got into breathwork is because of the whole experience of my Kundalini awakening. Now, I wasn't aware that it is what I was experiencing until, well, I'd been hearing the phrase for a while, but I'm not familiar with a lot of phrases. I'm learning that sometimes we are living things, our living experiences, or able to do things, but the term we may not know, but we are already doing them. So you may hear that term and you might feel like, what is that? But chances are, you may also be experiencing, or you may also have had that experience already. I will go ahead and just get into it with you to tell you exactly what I was experiencing. So on July 11th, I remember so clearly, I was doing a meditation that my partner recommended for me. I think it was a gratitude meditation, and I'd been doing it for a while, but for some reason on this morning I was laying on my back. I generally prefer to do, unless it is actually recommended to sit, like some other breathwork meditations, I do require that you sit, especially those for Kundalini. So I was lying in bed doing my gratitude meditation, and I just felt this rush of energy from my sacral chakra, which is basically 2 inches below your belly button. All right, about that. And it just went up, and it came up, and as it was coming up, I just felt this warmth that just traveled through to my crown, right? However, I was laying there, so I didn't make anything of it except, oh, this meditation is good. You know, I was like, okay, I'm feeling you, spirit, that's good. And I was so elated to tell my partner, because he had just told me like the day before when he did that meditation and decided to recommend it to me, that he had had such a beautiful experience. So I was describing mine. I was excited to describe mine to him and tell it to him. I couldn't really find the words, so in the moment I just told him I had the most beautiful experience, right? And I told him I felt just a warmth in my tummy. And anyway, guys, this was only the beginning, because I then started having these experiences more frequently. So I would have it on stage, and it happened the year before last. So this year makes 3 years that I had been experiencing these, I started calling them episodes. I don't like that name, so I don't want to call it that anymore, but that's what I was calling them before. It gives a bad energy when you say episode. It's like, it's a bad thing. Well, to me, it registers as a bad thing, and I don't think it's a bad thing anymore. So I would be on stage performing, and this would happen to me, or I would be driving and have to pull over, or I would again be meditating. I would be just sometimes doing nothing. I would be in the shower. I remember when it happened in the shower, and in those moments, I feel like I know it's about to happen, but it starts happening just before I could even finish the thought of saying I'm about to have, and it just starts, right? Because I just suddenly feel a churn of energy in my sacral chakra, or maybe it's my root chakra as well, but from the bottom to the top, okay? And I started getting, it wasn't a pleasant feeling at first. It still isn't fully a physically pleasant feeling, but the after feeling is so beautiful, and you just find yourself in such a beautiful space of peace and love and just gratitude and just pure relaxation and bliss, you know. And so yeah, it started happening often, and I mentioned it to my friend, and she said to me, hey Finesse, this sounds like a Kundalini awakening. And the only time, I'll be honest, the only time I heard that word Kundalini was in this song called Adi Shakti. And I didn't know, it's like an Indian song with some meditation. And I was like, that's actually a thing. So I told you guys when I was doing the review of the chakra healing book that is where I actually found words to describe what I was experiencing, right? So I then, I started to embrace it as, this is not a bad thing. But I'm like, why does it have to feel so uncomfortable for me? And why does it have to happen? I have no control over when it happens, or I can't. And when it happens, I feel so disconnected from my body physically. I do. I feel like I have to touch something, because I can see where I am, but my body doesn't feel like I don't feel present in my body. So I would have to touch the nearest person or thing, or turn on my fan, which is because I'm alone a lot of the time, so turn on my fan and just have the wind blow into my face to let my, to stimulate my my senses, right? And I used my fingers and I don't know how to describe it fully, but it almost feels like you're fading in and out of physicality or consciousness. And it was so uncomfortable for me, but I guess the first few times it happened, I hadn't been paying attention to notice that after it happened, I was just super, super, super sensitive and receptive to everyone's emotions and energies around me. And I remember we were traveling at that time to Trinidad in about, I think it was May of this year or March of this year. No, it was June. And I had my episodes, and we were traveling, and I promise you, every single person I saw looked so familiar, like I had seen them before. And I know I hadn't, from the welcoming agent at the airport, to every single face I saw on the flight, to the taxi driver who took us from the airport to the hotel staff. Everyone was looking so familiar. And I kept saying to my partner, because we were traveling together to perform, and I kept saying, oh my God, babe, everyone looks so familiar. I know them. I know this person. I know that person. And after a while, I could tell that I was making it was uncomfortable for him, it felt like. And I told him, I'm sorry, I just really feel like everyone is just so familiar. We had to do this wedding, and everyone from the bride and groom looked so familiar, guys. I am not making this up. I promise you I'm not making this up. And anyway, that happened, and throughout the trip, this is it. I'm just seeing everyone looks familiar, like I've seen every single face here before, and every single face resonates with me so well, like we have a connection. So anyway, that was one of the, I guess, I wouldn't say effects, or that was one of the moments because of the Kundalini awakening that I wasn't aware of. So I came back home, and then at the airport, I had so many of these instances at the airport, the energy rushes or surges, surges, I don't know, rushes, I should say. And it's not stopped happening. What happens is, I even tried to document it, like mark on my phone or on my calendar when it happens, to kind of gauge when it's gonna happen. And I guess at some point I thought it was happening just before my menstrual cycle started, and then after, or just, and it has no specific time. Now I notice that it's happening mostly after, but less frequently. And what I've been, my senses are very heightened, so I would have a taste in my mouth. No matter how much I brush my teeth, I would have a specific taste in my mouth for days. I would find myself wanting to be alone and on stage. It's become so overwhelming sometimes on stage, because I have to close my eyes to zone out of certain energies of people, because everything is just so much more magnified. I'm already very sensitive and empathetic to people, so it's just become extreme. Anyway, so I decided to speak to my friend. I actually spoke to her yesterday because I was wanting guidance. I got guidance from many people, but I decided to speak to someone else yesterday, and she was so helpful. But she didn't say anything that anyone else hadn't said to me before. Everyone was saying, that I should just relax into it and don't try to control it or decide where it should go or channel it in any way. Just relax and go through it. And that's what I had been doing for the last time it happened, which was about 2 weeks ago, right? So it's not a consistent thing all throughout. It's just, it happens at certain times. And sometimes I can predict it, sometimes it just happens randomly. I had gone to the doctor, guys. I had an ultrasound done, I had an x-ray done, I had my blood work done. I had every possible test you could think of done when it happened, and that was last year, December. I was convinced that something was physically wrong with me. And when I got that ruled out, I kind of settled in a good way, knowing that it was spiritual, because, and what caused this for me, and I just want to say, is that in 2020, I started doing meditations every single day, and I have not missed a day since 2020. Maybe I've missed one day in the last 4 years, but I've been doing it consistently. Everything I said to you at the beginning of this video, my affirmations, my meditation, my reading, I've been doing this consistently for the last almost 4 years, right? And this is what has caused the Kundalini awakening in me, I believe, right? When we have a spiritual experience, if we don't continue to feed that spiritual experience, we lose our momentum, we lose our progress, we kind of we prevent or restrict or lower our divine, we're already divinely connected, but our divine awareness, we lower that, I would say, right? So I believe that what caused it, or what allowed my Kundalini experience to come into fruition, it's not something that I was aiming for or anything. I had no knowledge of it because before it happened to me, was the consistency I have been maintaining with my time with spirit every single morning, every single night. In fact, anytime I feel like, I just go within and I just express gratitude and love for spirit, right? And this is what I believe caused, I don't want to use bad words like triggered, but caused or manifested my Kundalini awakening. And there I had been researching I thought, or I believed that there was a way to get out of it, like to make the physical symptoms go away, but there isn't. I guess what happens with it is that you just continue to, the more you relax in it, that's what my friend told me yesterday, my friend Maurice. She said to me, just relax into it, and that feeling I told you guys of bliss and just peace and gratitude and love for everyone, the more you relax into it, the more permanent that feeling stays. Now, what I noticed was, when I first started having that experience, and these feelings of bliss and gratitude and love, they were like probably for a day or two. However, as of late, it's been like a week, and you just find yourself I'm saying it, and I just feel so grateful and happy. You just find yourself so in love with life and grateful for your experience, and just embracing this beautiful level of expansion you're experiencing. So I think that I just wanted to say, I'm still going through my Kundalini awakening, but I believe that the best way, and I don't think there's a way out. I don't think you want to get out of that beautiful place. I think what you want to do is to kind of relax into it and accept it and be grateful for it and be humble in your gratitude and your love for it, and just allow it. Just become a conduit of that beautiful energy, So this is what I am experiencing with my Kundalini awakening. I will probably do an update of this experience to share with you guys, because I know there are some people who are probably going through it and are not aware. If you are someone who meditates, who takes time daily to do your spiritual activities, go within, to spend time just in the presence of the divine, then you should expect something like that, maybe. But when I say expect, don't try to manifest it. Just don't be surprised when you find yourself feeling physically and spiritually that awakening. I was very nervous, and I'm just so grateful for my friends who have been very supportive and suggestive, and in how I could handle it and deal with it better. I feel like I'm ready to just allow. That's it. Just allow. Just be in gratitude, be in love, and allow this beautiful experience. And I hope that this video helped someone who is also going through it. There were some other videos that I was looking at on YouTube to see how to deal with it, and it was saying that it actually increases your sex drive, it increased, and there are ways of channeling that energy to your crown, towards your crown, through self-pleasure. That is also something you can explore if that's something you would like to explore, if you're going through it, but you're not supposed to climax. You're just supposed to channel the energy. I wanted to do it like naturally. Not naturally, I shouldn't say the word naturally, because that is natural. I wanted it to be an experience that I just allow and see what happens. So I'm just really grateful to, a lot of us go through things, and through social media we realize that we're not alone. And I don't think that there are any new experiences on this earth. I think that there are different interpretations of experiences, which is what we can share with each other to help each other and guide each other through. Because whatever I do for me, I am doing it for you, because we are all one, right? So I just wanted to share this beautiful experiences of that experience with you, in case you are experiencing what you think might be your Kundalini awakening. I will advise, though, that you get, rule out the possible of anything physical. Don't just assume it's your Kundalini. Get your health, get your regular checkup. If you think your blood work, your ultrasound, because for me it starts with my stomach area, and goes up. So I had all of those things sorted out. And just embrace that beautiful aspect of you once you've ruled out all the physical possibilities. Because we tend to think that as long when we're spiritual, we don't have, we don't need the doctors. But guess what? Spirit or God created and gave those doctors those skills, and we just have to use our own discernment to decide what we will allow or what our body desires, and that's usually easy. That's not a hard part if you pay attention to your body, okay, and if you're in tune with yourself. So go within a lot more. Continue going within. If you haven't started, you should start taking time. Do some shadow work, spend some time with yourself, learn yourself, because it's a beautiful thing. And when you do it for you, you really are doing it for everyone. When you learn to love and care for yourself and understand yourself, that is something that it's a universal thing. We are all meant to, we share the same energy, the same spirit. So whatever you do for yourself, you really are doing it for all of mankind, every living thing, okay? Thank you so much for watching. I do hope that this video has helped someone who may be experiencing, similar things. Remember to rule out all possible physical, conditions first, and before you can, know what it is. It could be a lot of things. Prior, I actually thought mine was gas. Then I thought it was, okay, I'm not eating on time. Then I thought it was, another thing, I think fibers, I thought I was having or something. So get all these. I got my pap smeared and all for that. So so I just want to encourage you to rule out all possible physical issues or conditions or diagnosis before you can, embrace this as your. But if you are already doing spiritual, taking time to spend with spirit every day, it doesn't have to be in the morning. It could be every day. You don't have to get away from people. You can actually be with spirit whilst you're in a crowd or somewhere. Okay, so just take the time to do that. The Kundalini awakening is really the awakening of one's true self, your divine self. Okay, I wanted to just say that because I hadn't said that, and the word Kundalini just probably sounds very different or to a lot of people. It was to me. So Kundalini awakening is basically one becoming aware of their true self. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I will do another update as I see whatever I notice. I will give you guys an update about it to offer further guidance, because it can be scary. Trust me, it can be very scary, but it's an experience that we should all yearn for and be grateful for if we are experiencing it. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you subscribe if you haven't, and you stick around, and please share with me your, what you encounter along your spiritual journey. This is a channel dedicated and intended to offer enlightenment and also to receive enlightenment from you, because we are all here together sharing this beautiful, magical, powerful space. Love and light, gratitude and joy and peace. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday and week.